This particular group of bikes I have now were strictly spur of the moment. I had no plan on even purchasing them, but I saw them up in Lake Tahoe. It's kind of a barn find, except it was actually a blacksmith shop that was storing these bikes. And once I saw them, I said, oh my gosh.
Were they advertised for sale, or did
No,
you just...
they were not. I went up to visit, it's called the Pope Residence up at Lake Tahoe. It was built in the 1890s. And we did a tour of the place, and we had a blast up there, and the guy that was giving the tour said, would you be interested in seeing some motorcycles up here? Yeah, my wife's going, no. Go in there, and here are these Indians sitting in this round room. There's like a forge in the middle, and started talking to the guy about it, and expressed some interest in purchasing them, and I ended up contacting the owners of the facility, and I made a deal.
For all of them?
Yeah, for all of them. There were 2 Indians and a Harley. These bikes were a donation from someone in, I think, '08. The bikes were in pretty darn good shape, externally, cosmetically, but not internally in the engine. The engine needs some engine work. I think they were put together to sell or to give, or I'm not sure. There were quite a few little things that needed to be tackled to get them running, but they were actually in pretty decent shape cosmetically. A little bit of that work I'd done, and then a friend of mine locally here has gotten into the engine more than I would like to do.
Running a business like you do, is it difficult to find the time?
Yeah, that's for sure. But boy, it's fun, and I'm just fortunate that I could be able to be around this equipment.
You know, when I was talking to Tony, who was introduced to me at the diner the other day, he says, you know, one thing about Bill is he rides.
Yeah, you can see there's other vehicles in here too. Everything I drive, I'm really not a show person, so I just like to hop on it and get the feel for how it was done in the past. That rig there, this Roadster was my father's, and he raced it in high school. 1938. Wow.
Did you pick up the Indians because you had a particular love for Indians, or it was just the circumstance?
Just the circumstance. I've heard of Indians, but didn't know much about an Indian. And boy, when you first see an Indian close up, it's just amazing. Just the quality, the workmanship, the design is so heavy duty and basic and simple and straightforward. Just amazing. And I've been around mechanical things all my life, elevators in particular, but so once you see this type of equipment, it's just overwhelming.
What would be your advice for someone else who isn't an expert about owning these types of bikes?
Well, before I made the purchase, you mentioned Tony, I contacted a friend that could help me maintain them. Because you need to get these out, you need to start them up. That's a big part of owning this equipment. Besides you just having fun, you've got to spend a lot of time to keep them in safe running conditions. So having somebody that can help you out if you're not mechanically inclined to take care of the equipment, you really need some help on it.
And you know, I talk to so many people who feel fortunate that they have retired and have this. Most people are, you know, some guys, they don't know what to do with themselves. You have something to do for the rest of your life.
Well, that's exactly right. and I am very fortunate to be able to do this. So it is a big part of my life. Yeah.
Thank you, Bill.
You're welcome. Yeah. Good questions.